Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I want to go over the 10-step closing framework that we use at Aircool Marketing. If you're not already familiar with me or my company, we are a home improvement marketing agency that helps people in the UK, US, Canada, Australia get more, or when I say people, I mean home improvement companies, get more clients, right? Now, why do I call this the 10-step closing framework? It's not just meant to sound fancy. This is not a script. Even though it does look like a script, it's not a script. These words that you're going to see here, they're not meant to be repeated verbatim. This is meant to be a framework that you use to basically shape the way you do sales, right? Like, for example, just right here, and when you say, hey, how's everything going to your prospect, they might say, oh, everything's going bad. Obviously, in a situation like that, you're going to respond differently than if they were to say, hey, everything's going good, right? So then, obviously, if they said, hey, everything's going bad, you wouldn't respond, oh, that's good to hear. That's just not how you respond. My point is, this is meant to be just a framework to give you the idea of the questions you should be asking. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So, step one, it's a quick introduction. Obviously, this is literally just a formality. Like, that's really all it is. We're people. We want to be nice to each other. That's just kind of how it is. So you're going to start off the call, hey, prospect. Just for the situation, we're going to call him John. Hey, John, how's everything going? John's going to say something like, hey, everything's going good. How about you, George? That's good to hear. Everything's good on my end as well. But let's just get right into the call. Okay, there you go. So then, you want to set your intentions, right? And the purpose of this is you want to announce you're not just going to work with anybody else, right? You're kind of establishing a sense of exclusivity, if that makes sense, right? So the reason we're on this call right now is because I want to ask you a couple of questions, see what you have to say, and if everything checks out, I can give you an offer and tell you realistically if we can help, right? Does that sound good? This right here, it's a psychological thing where I forget the technical name for it, but you want the prospect to say yes to you a bunch of times on the call. So then the ultimate yes, which is yes, I want to work with you, is a lot easier to say, right? That's why if you go throughout the script, you're going to see a lot of things highlighted in blue because we're going to keep getting them to say yes, 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 right? But here we are. So then we move on. We want to ask where they're at. Now, why are we asking this question? Or why are we asking these questions? We want to find their pain points. We want to know where they're at. And we also want to warm them up, right? We kind of want to make them a little bit more comfortable with us on the call because in the end of the day, at this moment, they're still a stranger. So let's start off simple. How long have you guys been in business? Well, I've been in business for 5 years, right? This question, completely irrelevant. This question's irrelevant. This is where it starts to get relevant. These 4 questions only exist for the sole purpose so when you ask the more sensitive questions, they don't feel like it's like out of context, if that makes sense, right? You're kind of starting off small and building up. Let's just get into it. So let's start off simple. How long have you guys been in business? Oh, we've been in business for 5 years. Okay, I see. And is it just you or do you have employees? Yeah, it's just me and I have a buddy of mine who helps me around. Okay, interesting. How big in an area are you guys servicing? Oh, we do New York City and then a 15-mile radius. Okay. And now I know this fluctuates, but on average, how many jobs are you guys doing, per month? Oh, it's hard to say, but, probably like 10 to 20 jobs. Okay. And are those jobs just word of mouth, or are you running something like Check a Trade, My Builder, maybe Google Ads? Now, for those of you who don't know what Check a Trade or My Builder is, it's kind of like the Angie's List and Thumbtack equivalent, but in the UK, right? And if you guys don't even know what Angie's List or Thumbtack is, it's basically like an app where whenever you need some home service, you can download it and you can be paired to a home improvement specialist. So it's like Tinder, but for HVAC and like roofing, right? So prospect speaks, right? Okay, I see. Now I know this varies as well, but how much are you guys pulling in terms of revenue every single month? Now this is the real question that I want to know. I really could care less about all this, right? This is just warming them up. It's obviously not the most formal thing to do when you walk up to a random person and you ask them, how much money do you make per month, right? Even though, I see nothing wrong with it, right? It's not something you do to, a normal person, right? So you're kind of warming them up with the other questions, and then you ask this question. This is going to help you establish, an anchor, because now that they know how much money they're making, you're going to tell them another number, and that's going to seem, astronomical to them, okay? So remember this number. Then you're going to ask, where do they want to be? Now you want them to tell you your dream outcome, right? Once they tell you their dream outcome, Okay, well now you know where they're at, where they want to be. You can use that range, right, as a sales tactic. So, okay, so everything sounds good so far. Now, where do you want to be in 6 to 12 months? Right, I just want to make sure you got realistic goals because, in terms of revenue per month, where do you want to be in 6 to 12 months? So what you're telling them is, okay, well, I want to make sure that what you have in your head is actually realistic, right? Um, and then you're asking them, okay, where do you want to be, realistically speaking, in 6 to 12 months? A lot of the time, they're going to say something like 50% further than where they already are. So let's just say they make 100K per month right now. They're probably going to say something along the lines like, okay, I want to be at 150K per month. Okay, remember this number. Okay, this is very important. Remember this number. So the prospect speaks, he tells you where he wants to be. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to reword their own response to them. Now, what you're doing here is you're making their dream sound very achievable. Now, why does this make sense? For those of you who know anything about home improvement, you know it's high ticket. Like, for example, to get a brand new roof installed, it's probably going to cost you around $10,000. Obviously, there's 100 million different factors, but on average, it can be like around 10K, right? Now, imagine they're at 100K and they want to be at 150K. That's only a 50K difference. 50K per month is a lot of money. That sounds very vast, but 5 extra jobs is very simple. Right? That doesn't sound that crazy, right? So this is what you're kind of just trying to do to them. You're just trying to bring it into a more tangible understanding, okay? So just to confirm, right now you're at 100K per month and you want to be at 150K per month. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Perfect. So in 6 to 12 months, you want to add 50K in revenue every single month. Does that sound right? Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. So on average, we're getting high ticket jobs, which can range anywhere from 8 to 30K per job. And that's totally true for our industry. It's probably going to be different for your industry. But let's go on the low end. So what you're really asking is you want 150K minus 100K, which is, 50K divided by 8 jobs. So for example, let's just say that they're in this theoretical example, let's say they're at 100K, or I'm sorry, they're at 70K and they want to be at 100K. That means they want to earn $30,000 more every single month. If you divide that by 8, that's 3.75, but we're going to round it up to 4 more jobs. So in this situation, right, you're going to hit them with, okay, so what you really want is 4 more jobs per month. Because now you just took them from thinking, wow, I want to make $30,000 extra to, oh, I just need 4 more jobs. That's a lot easier to understand, right? So that's kind of the point of this part. Then you come here and you say, okay, so what you want to do here is you want to ask them what those results would do for them. Now, 30K per month, that's cool, right? In the end of the day, that's money. A lot of the people watching this video, including me, you guys probably want to do this for money. That's probably your main driving factor. But that's not the main driving factor for a lot of people. For a lot of people, they want to spend more time with their family. They want to work less. Whatever it is, right? You want to dig deep and you really want them to want this 30K per month or this, whatever this value is, right? So you're going to tell them, okay, so everything sounds good so far. You have very realistic goals. But my next question is just to gauge where your intentions are with the company, right? Now, let's just say we did get you 4 more jobs per month. That would result in an extra $30,000 per month in revenue, and you would be at your goal. Now, what would that do for you? Like, are you looking to, maybe put down the tools, focus more on the office work, maybe not do so much physical labor? Are you looking to maybe hire more people, right? You want to scale further. Maybe you're looking to, step back from the company, spend more time with your family. Maybe it's a mix of the 3. What exactly are your intentions, just so we can understand how we're going to move forward once we do get you to the goal, right? That's like along the lines of something I'd say. Now, they're going to tell you, most of the time, since it is an older audience, they're going to tell you, I honestly just want to work less and spend more time with my family. That's pretty much what we hear all the time. Sometimes they'll say, yeah, I just want more money. That's really all I want. But realistically speaking, they want to spend more time with their family and they want to put down the tools. And obviously, also, they want to earn a little bit of money. So, realistically speaking, it's a mix of the 3. They're going to tell you that, and now you can use that against them, okay? So, now you're going to tell them you can help them, but. Now, what you're telling them is you can do what they want, but they're going to have to give something up. Now, why are you doing this in the first place? Because you're making it seem harder for them. Now, they know in their head that this is too good to be true, or at least they're thinking that. Okay, who's this random person who's going to come to my business, right, and immediately make me make more money? You want to make them seem that it's not that simple. So, this is what you're going to say. So, if I'm being totally honest, increasing your revenue by 30K in 6 to 12 months is very doable, right? Now, I'm sure you want to do, I'm sure you want to spend more time with your family. And this is going back to this, right? I'm using what they just told me against them, right? Now, I'm sure you want to spend more time with your family, work less, make more money, and, they're all things you want to do. Everybody wants to do them, right? But I'm going to be honest with you, this is something that takes a lot of sacrifice, right? You need to commit to calling these leads on time, following up with them, knowing how to sell them effectively. You have to be willing to learn, right? We've been doing this for a while, so you have to be willing to learn from us. You have to be willing to take our advice, improve. It's a constant cycle of just, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, until it is good enough, right? And at that point, you can have all the things you wanted and more, right? So there's definitely a learning curve. Are you sure this is something you want to try? Now, this is going back to getting them to say yes. You want to get the prospect to say yes to you as many times as possible on this sales call before you go in for the close. So here I am. I've just asked them this question probably like 50 times already, and they keep saying yes, 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 yes. So obviously, they're not they're business owners. They're not strangers to the fact that they need to put in effort in order to achieve good things. So they're going to say, yes, I'm sure I want this. Now, step number 8, they need to be serious about what they're doing, right? Now, why this step exists, it might seem redundant because that's pretty much step 7, but what you're doing here is you're kind of establishing that it's not a matter of whether we can provide the service, it's a matter of whether you can take the service, right? You're like, really the big point here is you don't want them thinking, okay, well, on my end, I'm good. I don't know whether they can deliver. You want them thinking, well, of course they can deliver. Can I take the actual service, right? It's kind of like a mindset shift away from, I don't know if this company can do it, to I don't know if I can do it, right? And at that point, it's internal, that's their problem. So what you're asking here is, I'm asking these questions just because I want to understand whether you're really looking to scale, right? I mean, some companies, they're looking to scale, some companies are looking to maintain where they're at, and some companies are even looking to scale down, right? They all have their pros and cons, they all have their reasons, but we're just trying to understand, are you the type of company that wants to scale? And if so, then we can consider working together. Does that sort of make sense? Now, they're obviously going to say, yes, I'm the type of company looking to scale. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking to a lead generation agency, right? Where in the end of the day, they would not be on this call if they were not looking to scale. But again, you're just getting them to say yes, 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 because that's what matters. If you get them to say yes to 50 different things before you go in for the close, they're going to say yes, or the odds of them saying yes increase greatly, right? But anyways, moving on to step 9. Now, you're going to bring the dream outcome close to them. You're going to reiterate everything that's happened on this call, and you're just going to get them to really understand that this can happen easily. So you're going to tell them literally on the call, okay, so just to reiterate, right now, you make 70K per month. You want to make 100K per month. So you want to make an extra 30K per month. That translates to an extra 4 jobs per month. It's very realistic to think that in 6 to 12 months, this can be achieved. And you claim that you're very serious about growth and you want to do this. So all of that being said, I do think that we can help you achieve that goal. So let's actually discuss the deal now. Does that sound good? Now again, you just went in for the close. It was a quick going in for the close. You're getting him to say yes one last time. And now you've gotten him to say yes like at least half a dozen times. Now you're going for the close. Now, obviously, your pitch is going to be different, and it's different for us. That's why I don't even include anything here. Whether we're talking to a roofer, an HVAC guy, a remodeler, a paver, whatever we're talking to, whether it's rough casting or whoever it is, obviously, our actual script for the close is different, right? And this is the part that really matters the least. If you can set up the frame in a way that's, good, the actual, script for the close doesn't really matter, right? All I'd say is the advice here for the actual close is you want to pitch your price in relative to what you're making them, right? So let's just say you charge $1,000 a month for your service. You're not just going to say, okay, it's $1,000 a month for advertising. You're going to say, okay, so we're going to be charging you $1,000 a month for adding $30,000 a month to your business and revenue. That's what you're going to pitch it as. And if you do all of this right, you keep the tonality, you sound serious, you don't sound like you're speaking quickly, you're going to have success. This exact framework is how we've closed literally every single client. This doesn't just work for, this doesn't just work for SMMA either, or any agency really. This works for SaaS as well. It works for really any business which is high ticket, because you're putting in personalized attention to every single prospect. But with that being said, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. And with that being said, have a good day, guys.